is right over here.
Did you read Sex the Single Girl by Helen Lily Brown?
Oh, hi.
Well, Helen Lily says that if you go to a man's apartment after just beginning the acquaintanceship, you're asking for trouble.
Really?
However, Dr. Albert Ellis in Sex and the Single Man encourages it.
Oh, no kidding.
But I don't agree with either of them. I mean, how can you generalize about something like that? Am I right?
Sure.
I think who you are, who the man is, and what your particular needs are can't help but color your true feelings. That's why I'll wait for you out here.
What?
I'd rather wait for you out here.
What for?
I just don't like to go to a person's apartment when I hardly know the person. Not that anything's going to happen, it's just the idea of the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I told you. I think I left my gas on. We just go in, check the oven, and leave.
Well, okay. But just for a second. I just don't like to go to a man's apartment when I hardly know him, you know what I mean?
I mean, like, it's the idea of the thing.
It's the idea of the thing. Oh, what a nice decor. Sends out good vibrations. Very masculine. How much?
135.
Gas and electric included?
Yeah.
I don't smell any.
Oh, what?
Gas.
Look, as long as you're here, would you like to use my bathroom?
What?
Well, I know how girls have to go to the bathroom a lot more than guys, and it's a long ride home.
Okay, thanks.
You want to dance?
That's funny.
Oh, what is?
You know what I thought in the bathroom when I heard all those noises?
What noises?
When you were running around here creating atmosphere, I thought to myself, oh boy, he's going to do something gauche like make a pass. And all you wanted was a dance.
That is funny. Do you want to dance?
I don't know, do you want to dance?
Sure. I bet you can't guess where the music's coming from.
The phonograph?
No, my tape recorder, I bought it about a year ago, and I don't know what I ever did without it. Every day I take something groovy like television specials, or when Frank Sinatra's on. You want to make speakers I got?
No.
Six.
I'm getting sleepy. I think you better take me home.
Oh, wait a second. I'd like to talk to you for a while. Sit down, we'll talk a little.
About what?
Life.
Okay.
It's hard to talk to dance music.
Do you believe the man is a love object and the woman is the other?
What?
Did you read The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir?
No,
Well, that's what Simone says. But I don't agree. I mean, why do I have to be the other? I have as much right to be the love object as the man does. What do you think?
Okay.
I'm glad you said that. What are you going to do?
Kiss you.
Why?
Because your mouth is, nice.
Oh, Jerry. I think I better go. It's not that I'm not having a good time, it's just the idea of how I'm having it. Don't stop. I'll try not to think about it. Hey, the blinds are up. People can look in.
Don't worry about it. The windows will fog up.
May I have a cold drink?
Come on, you don't want a cold drink.
Yes. I'm thirsty. May I speak frankly? A friend of mine was going with this guy she picked up in Central Park at the zoo. And they spent the whole weekend together. But it was a very full 2.5 days. Do you know what I mean by full?
Sure. You mean full.
Right. I mean, the sexual thing was there, don't get me wrong, but so was the spirituality. Did you read The Prophet by Khalil Gibran?
No. I was going to, but I never got around to it.
Well, he says, I am you, and you are me. And we are one. Well, they were one. At his house. At her house. Then he was supposed to call her again, Monday. Well, the whole week goes by and he doesn't even call. Next Friday night, she bumps into him at the zoo again. So he says, hey, let's go to my place. Can you imagine when he hadn't even called? So she says, what kind of a girl do you think I am? Okay. No regrets. They were one. It was a full 2.5 days. Do you want to hear something really depressing? Not only didn't this guy call, he never even bought her a Coke. I mean, if that doesn't depress you, what does? Oh, what a giving thing. It's no good. You have to be what you are. This may be you, but it's not me.
What is it?
May I speak frankly? I know we just met 30 minutes ago, but just what do I mean to you? I mean, am I just a passing train in the night you're having a transitory frolic with, or are you more attracted to my inner being? And this might very well be the beginnings of a meaningful relationship on a permanent basis.
The second one?
Then let's wait.
Wait, for what? We haven't done anything.
For the first date! I just don't believe in fooling around until the first date. Maybe that sounds old-fashioned to you, but those are my values. I mean, we hardly know each other.
I know you. Okay, even though I don't know you. You know, sometimes you meet a person you've never even seen before, and somehow you just get the feeling you know that person. Well, when I met you tonight in Maxwell's Plum, I just knew I knew you.
Beautiful.
What's the matter?
I don't know you.
What do you want to know?
Did you read The Art of Loving by Eric Fromm?
It just came out in paperback. It's all sold out.
Well, Fromm says, whoever is capable of giving of himself is rich. That's why he's trying to stay open to all experience. Like a blackboard to be written on. Let's rest.
Rest? What do you want to rest for? We haven't done anything.
I'd like a moment to reflect about things.
What things?
Would you stroke my hair? I like this. Jerry, shall I tell you what I feel?
Sure.
I am queen of the universe. The waves part and they engulf me, and the sea foam is warm. Warm. Kiss me, Jerry. Kiss me. How do you feel?
Warm, like the sea foam.
Do you want me to stay?
Yeah.
The whole night?
Yeah, no problem so much.
Then tell me
What?
that I am queen.
You're queen.
Thank you, Jerry. Say it again.
Look, Brenda. I think we got off track someplace. Couldn't we not talk and just do it?
Do what? I don't follow.
What do you mean you don't follow? What we came here for? Sex.
Oh, Jerry. That's not you talking. That's not my Jerry.
You're Jerry? I don't even know you. How can I be your Jerry?
You said you knew me at once, and I know you knew. That's why I let you make advances and wine me and dine me.
Are you crazy? You made the advances. I didn't wine you and dine you. You asked me to buy you a cup of coffee, so I did.
I just can't get over this. You mean all you wanted from this relationship was something cheap and smutty? I have needs too, Jerry.
Look, Brenda, let's forget the whole thing. I'll put you in the cabin. It was nice knowing you. When I ever have any luck. Every Saturday night, I go to Maxwell's Plum. Either I get a tease, or I get a brush from the girl, or wind up with some nap. Tonight I had to get a combination. That is it with me.
Jerry, it's obvious you're just a slave to your erections.
What?
A woman is just an object to you, like an ice cream popsicle. Oh, you enjoy the flavor of it, but take care. One day you'll try to discard the wrapper and the orange sherbet will stick to your fingers and you'll wind up feeling icky. Because all you know how to do is take. You've never learned the meaning of reciprocal giving, and that's what love is. Am I right, Jerry?
Well, I guess so.
Then take.
What?
Go ahead, Jerry. Take.
But I thought you said I don't reciprocate.
I'll give for both of us. Oh, Jerry, aren't you glad we didn't rush into it? Wasn't it worth not rushing into?
Yeah.
How many are we, Jerry? How many? We are one. We are one.
One. We are one.
Oh, Jerry, this is the fullest Saturday night I've ever had. Did you read the Kama Sutra to Vatsayana?
No,
Chapter 1. In the beginning, men and women were created. And in 100,000 commandments, there were rules laid down with regards to Dharma, Artha, and Kama. Kama meaning love, pleasure, and sensual gratification. Artha meaning wealth, and Dharma meaning virtue. Now, Brahma.
All things, why not take all? If you see, I know the time. Don't you love me?
That has nothing to do with it. I just can't take your anniversary parties anymore.
Kathy, I promise you, as soon as Peter goes away to prep school, I'll ask Bernice for the divorce.
You promised that last year and the year before that.
This time it's different.
As soon as Helen goes to day camp?
Please,
As
Kathy.
soon as Paul makes Eagle Scout?
Kathy, it's dangerous out here. Bernice might walk by.
I don't care. I never want to see you again.
Kathy, if you let 5 years of love and with a bathroom door between us, I'll lose all respect for myself.
Bye, Hal.
Goodbye, Kathy.
I love you. You're the sun and the moon and the stars. I couldn't live without you.
I couldn't live without you. You're the sun and the moon. I love you, Kathy. You're the stars. You didn't mean what you said, that we have nothing.
Oh, you know I didn't mean it.
These few precious moments we have together are everything.
Oh, they are precious. Ow, ow, how I hurt my knee.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, get up a second. You're hurting my rib.
Oh, why does it have to be so sordid like this?
Sorted? How could you call this sorted? You just can't help who you love and who you don't love. Now I love you, Kathy, and I want you to be happy. And I don't love Bernice, but I want her to be happy. And I do love the kids, and I want them to be happy. But I don't want my wanting Bernice to be happy to take away my love for you. But my wanting the kids to be happy without taking away my love for you will make Bernice happy, and therefore make the children happy. I want everyone to be happy. You know, I think that's my biggest fault.
I want everyone to be happy too, Hal.
Bernice is really a wonderful girl. That's why it's hell for me. But she's boring.
I know.
All she's interested in is making a home for me and the kids. The PTA in Bloomingdale's, the A&P and the Girl Scouts, the Bridge Club.
But I want that too, Hal.
But you're a vital person. That's why I'm afraid to tell her I'm leaving her. She might kill herself.
That's why I came in here. I was looking for a razor blade.
For God's sake, don't talk that way.
I'm sorry, Hal, but there's nothing. I have nothing.
You have me.
I don't have you. Bernice has you. I have nothing.
Bernice has me, but you have my love.
But I want you and your love.
I love you, Kathy.
No, but why don't you tell Bernice?
Because I don't want to hurt her.
Do you want to hurt me, Hal?
Of course not.
Well, somebody has to get hurt. In a situation like this, somebody has to get hurt.
Do you want Bernice to get hurt?
No, I don't want Bernice to get hurt.
Do you want my kids to get
No,
hurt?
Hal.
Then who should get hurt? Me?
Oh, I feel nauseous.
Oh, Kathy, please don't get sick on me.
I can't go on like this. I can't take it anymore. You've got to tell Bernice right now. I just don't know what I'm going to do.
Kathy, sit down. I want to tell you something. You mean a lot to me, but... Let me tell you something about myself, Kathy. Sure, I could go to Bernice and tell her about us, and maybe she would forgive you, even though she'd certainly never speak to me again. That's not important. What's important is that you have every right to want something more than what I've been giving you, just as she has every right. But here it is in a nutshell. I'm the kind of man, when confronted with the fact that I've been married to the same woman for 13 years, who has given me 2 wonderful children, becomes progressively more difficult for me to know that I've brought her any more happiness than I've brought her already. What I'm trying to tell you is
You'll
that...
never leave Bernice. And we'll never see each other again. Or have each other. Or hold each other in our arms again.
Not necessarily.
Then what do you mean, Hal? Are you going to tell Bernice or not?
simple as that. You see, Kathy, you, Bernice, and I are three of us in a boat. Now it's my boat, and it's your lake, but Bernice has the oars.
Phil has asked me to marry him now.
Phil? Who's Phil?
He's a fellow I could see.
How can Phil ask you to marry him? Have you been fooling around with Phil?
Oh, Hal, I could never fool around with Phil. Not when I'm in love with you.
Well, you must have done something for him to ask you to marry him. Did you kiss him?
Yes, I kissed him.
Oh, did he touch your breast?
Hal, I really don't do that.
Did he touch your breast?
Oh, yes, Hal, but
Oh, why, Kathy, why?
Hal, then you asked me to go out with other men.
Yes,
Well,
but...
Phil wouldn't go out with me unless I at least let him do something.
Why, Steve? Nobody can ever be happy. You're not happy. I'm not happy. Bernice isn't happy.
I think I can make Phil happy.
Screw Phil!
You don't mean that, Hal.
No, I don't mean that. It's just that every time I think I have everything worked out, something always complicates things. Now there's Phil's happiness to worry about. All right. What did you tell him?
I told him I'd have to think about it.
What do you mean think about it? There's nothing to think about. You can't marry Phil.
Why not?
Because I've got too much pride to go sneaking around corners with a married woman.
Well, what have I been doing?
That's different. I was married before I met you.
I can't go on like this. There's no end. Okay, Phil. Hal, this is it. If you don't tell Phil, if you don't tell Bernice, I'm going to marry Phil.
I see. Now you're going to force me to make the decision for you. Kathy, you have to make your own decision. Just like Bernice has to make her own decision, and Phil has to make his own decision.
Well, what about you, Hal? Don't you have to make a decision?
I've made my decision.
What have you decided?
I've decided to find a new way to help Bernice find the strength to leave me. It giving you the option to end it all by marrying Phil. But if Bernice is not aware enough to make the move that's right for her, and if you can't see your way to calling all your resources to resist me, then the responsibility rests not with you, Kathy, not with me, not with Bernice, but with Phil.
Oh. Are you going to make love to me or not?
What? Oh, come on, turn off the light. I was just falling asleep. What?
It's your turn to make love to me.
I owe you one.
You owe me two already.
How do you figure I owe you two?
Last Friday and the Wednesday before when Ron stayed over and you didn't want to make noise.
All right, three, leave me alone. I'm good for it.
Johnny.
Wilma, I'm just not in the mood right now.
All right. You don't want to. I don't want you to do anything you don't want to do. Don't you ever touch me again.
Put out the cigarette and go to sleep.
I can't sleep when I'm like this.
It's all in your mind.
It is not. I feel sexy.
It's just nerves. Have a sandwich. Wilma, cut it out in the morning. In the morning.
I am not interested in the morning. It is not romantic in the morning. It's romantic now.
To me, it's work.
Johnny, when I owe you, you pick the time. But you owe me, and I pick now.
Who are you kidding? I never pick the time. Last night, when we were driving home from Jersey, I offered to pull off the Pulaski Skyway and get something going. But you said no.
I am a married woman with 2 children. I am not going to make love in the back seat of a Volkswagen.
All right, then don't complain to me anymore about the lack of variety.
Johnny, it's Saturday night. We haven't made love in 10 days. We've both worked very hard to make love at least twice a week, and if we don't tonight, there's going to be a lot of pressure on us to catch up.
Wilma, I had an unusually upsetting week. I was busy at a meeting on Wednesday. I didn't want to go out tonight because it was too hot and I felt flushed at the party. I am physically and emotionally exhausted.
You know, you're beginning to sound like my mother complaining to my father.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're beginning to sound exactly like my father in sexual demands on my mother.
That's all right with me if he's the sexy one in your family.
I'm sexier than you'll ever be.
So why are you hoarding it?
If you didn't nag me about it, maybe I wouldn't.
Nag? I've done everything but nag. I've suggested, implied. I've rubbed against you while passing more provocative nightgowns. I've perfumed my underwear. I have tried every subtle way of reaching you except showing stag films.
Wilma, I get the feeling you're trying to make my virility look impotent.
When did that feeling first take you?
The day I married you, with all the other women, I was dynamite.
Well, sure. They were just lucky to be there with the holder of the World's Championship 3-second record in intercourse.
Out of all the women in the world, I had to marry an equal-time orgasm fanatic. You read a couple of ladies' home journals, and now all you know is me too.
And why not me too?
Look, stop trying to castrate me. There's too much man here. You and your me toos and your cockamamie career. Me and the children are not known for you. Oh, you need creative fulfillment to give meaning to your existence. We could have managed very well on one salary.
So quit your job.
You really do want to take over, don't you? Don't they want to notice your new wardrobe with the suits, with the pants, and the ties, and your butch haircuts?
Butch. I am more feminine than you'll ever be.
You want to know how feminine you are? Whenever we go out girls' room. So you can go right on, check, that's feminine. Then I try to get a cab in a snowstorm while you stand under an awning because your feet are cold and you don't want to get your hair wet. But if I don't find a cab in 2 minutes, you run out the street and yell, taxi! Whenever I try to treat you like a lady, you respond like, Rocky Graziano. Shit.
All I want is a little tenderness.
Ha! Look, who wants tenderness, Miss Locker Room Mouth? You better decide whether you want to be a man or a woman, and then talk tenderness to me. Do you understand, Wilma? Or is it Willie?
I'll tell you what. You decide what you want to be first, and I'll be what's left. You think you're so macho because whenever you have a problem, you roll over and go to sleep. Or you go out and get drunk with the boys. Try to act tough towards me. But I got a flash for you. Those tough Marine drill sergeants are the biggest bags in the world.
Watch what you say about the court.
Right. They're the biggest latent bags in the world. But they're not real men. A real man is warm and understanding and gentle and sweet and sensitive and kind and loving
Oh,
and...
yeah? Then what's a woman?
A woman is strong and brave.
And what?
A woman should be brave and strong in certain situations, like when her husband acts tough toward her, she should act tough toward him. But otherwise, a woman should be worshipped and admired and put up on a pedestal. But she should have the freedom to come down off the pedestal because she wants to be independent. But she should have the she should be able to go back up on the pedestal because a woman isn't a slave anymore because she wants to be taken care of and...
Excuse me. Is that taken care of up on the pedestal or down off the pedestal?
I don't know what a woman is. I don't even see any difference between us anymore.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. Next week for your birthday, I'll take you down for some hormone shots.
What you need is a transplant.
Hey, Al, stop! You want to know why you're so confused? Because you forgot who I am and who you are. I'm the man and you're just the woman. And the man's the boss. You said so yourself when we got married.
I was just humoring you. I said if it was so important to you, I'd let them be the boss.
What do you mean, let me be the boss? I am the boss.
Don't be juvenile. There is no boss.
I'm the boss and you know it.
There is no boss, and that's final. I don't want to hear another word about it. We're equals.
Oh, we're equals, huh?
Yes, we're equals.
All right. Let's find out just how equal we are. Come on, equal. Let's go a couple rounds. Come on, equal. Come on.
Cut it out, you big jerk!
Come here. Oh.
Let me go!
You're equal. Let yourself go.
Stop it!
Ow. Who's the boss?
There is no boss.
Who's the boss?
I am.
Who's the boss?
Stop it, you're hurting me. You're gonna wake the children.
Who's the boss?
You can torture me, but I won't say it.
Who's the boss?
You are.
And who won?
You did. Shithead.
That doesn't bother me, because the fight's all over and I won. I'm the boss. So, let's be good little loser. Let's go to bed. Good night, loser.
Excuse me, I'm sleeping on the couch. I'm not happy, John. Say you're sorry. Get your ass in here! All right. I'll sleep with you. But as far as I'm concerned, we're estranged. So you can just forget that we're married. Because I don't want to see you and I don't want to speak to you. That really upsets you, doesn't it? You waited 30 years to find the right girl to withdraw from. You know what your problem is? The only woman you ever loved was your mother.
Watch it, Wilmot.
It's true, John. But I think if you're so frightened of being castrated, then you ought to go directly to the original source of your fear and work it out with her. That's right. And then you and your father should make a special call on your grandmother. But don't bring me your old business. Boy, I'm sick and tired of being the well-adjusted one around here. I don't think that transplant would take.
All right. That's it. That is it. It's all over. It's all over, and you blew it. You blew it. And you want to know why you blew it? Because you're sick. You're a real sicko with your Reader's Digest psychology. A real sicko.
Where do you think you're going?
Away from your mouth.
Oh, no, you don't.
Try and stop me.
John,
Keep away from me.
please.
You keep away from me.
Was it something I said? Johnny, please, let's work this out. I'm upset.
No, don't go in your little girl act. You know you're a rock.
Get out of my house. Get out!
Don't worry, I'm going. Give me some money.
Can't have it. You had $40 on you today.
I paid for the food.
You're supposed to pay for the food.
I don't care. Jeez.
I didn't even want to make love tonight. I just wanted you to take me in your arms and hold me. But you're a big bully. Why couldn't you just take me in your arms and hold me?
Why did you let Neil Fragrance look up your dress tonight?
What?
Why did you let Neil Fragrance look up your dress tonight? At Dick and Sandra's, you let Neil Fragrance look right at your dress.
No, I didn't.
Don't tell me you didn't. All evening long, you were sitting there like this. Neil Fragrance looked right at your dress.
I don't even know who Neil Freeman is.
He was sitting across from you and a little to the left. But then you shifted your weight, and he shifted his. I was standing behind him a little to the right, and from there I could see your garter hook, so he must have seen a lot more.
Johnny, I'm sorry, I wasn't even aware of it. I always wear a panty slip so nobody can see anything.
You want everyone to see your pants?
No.
Then keep your legs crossed.
All right.
How big is the count? For 2 years, I've been busting my ass for them. And then they turn around and give it to someone else. My biggest account.
What are you talking about?
I lost Xerox.
Oh.
lunches alone on that purchasing agent. He turns around and knives me.
Johnny, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
It's not the money I care about. It's something bigger than that. If I can't be the best in aluminum tubing, then I don't want it. You wanted me to have sex with you tonight. I'm lucky I can stand up. But you can't understand that because you'll never really know what it's like to be a man. Oh, sure, you work too, but you're also a wife and a mother, so anything else you do is crazy. Nobody's pointing the finger at you, but the whole world is standing around watching me, just waiting for me to fall on my ass. And then we go to a party, and you sit there like this.
Johnny, I'm sorry. I'll try to be more understanding. I try, but you frighten me. You tell me I'm not feminine. Well, I am feminine, John. I am. Aren't I?
Just keep your legs crossed.
Johnny, I love you. Do you forgive me? Do you forgive me?
You called me a shithead.
Johnny, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Please forgive me.
Who's the man?
You are.
Who's the woman?
I am.
Who's the boss?
I really think you should give that one up. That's a very baby thing.
Wilma, ever since time began, the woman has stayed home with her chores and her children. The man has gone out and contended with the elements and hunted buffalo. And then he would bring home the buffalo and the woman would prepare it. That's the way it's always been.
John, I hate to tell you this, but the buffalo are gone. There are no more buffalo.
I don't mind if you're smarter than me about certain things. You make wittier remarks than me. Every now and then you have more imagination. But if you want me to have a happy marriage, and you want to be my friend, then you have to acknowledge that the man is a stronger one. Wilma, you have to surrender to me. And I will be king of the jungle. But as king, I will rule tenderly. I can't rule tenderly unless you surrender to me first.
Okay? I surrender. Now make up with me. Isn't he adorable? Look at that $1 million face. You're my big, strong teddy bear king, what I love. And am I your little baby surrendering bear, what you love? Hmm? Hmm?
Okay.
Give a whoop. Come on, give a whoop.
Woof.
Do you whoop me?
No, I woof you.
Then kiss me like the bears do. Are you gonna let me surrender to you or not?
open the door. Open the door, Susan. Susan, open the door. Who's in there? Susan, open the door. Susan.
Who is it?
Who is it? It's me.
Oh, just a second.
Who's in there? Who's in there, Susan? Open up.
All right.
What were you doing? Who's there?
Nobody's here.
Then what were you doing?
I was taking the curlers out of my hair.
Why? Who's coming, huh?
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Who would be coming at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Well, you tell me who would be coming at 4 o'clock in the morning.
What?
I'll tell you what. A friend of mine caught his girlfriend in the backseat of a car 2 days before the wedding. And you know what he did? He just left quietly and made out as if nothing happened. Oh, the wedding went on, and he never showed up.
What are you talking about? I was sleeping.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll come back when you're up.
I'm up. Now, what's the matter?
Nothing, I was just passing by. I thought I'd say hello.
At 4 o'clock in the morning? What's wrong?
Nothing, I just feel like talking, that's all.
All right, I'll make some coffee.
No, never mind, I'll see you later.
I thought you said you wanted to talk.
We already talked. What do you expect me to do? Carry on a long conversation at 4 in the morning? Well, I can't keep these hours. I have to go to work soon. I'm not getting married. I said I'm not getting married. I told you this would happen. I told you I wasn't ready. Do you remember? I said, Susan, if I ask you to marry me, can I take it back if I want to? And you said I could, didn't you? I'm taking it back now. I mean, it's not that I don't love you because I love you, Susan. I really do. But it just can't be for keeps. I mean, I tried. I really tried, but it's getting close. There's just 4 days left. Just 4 more days, and I can't go any further. No, sir, no, ma'am, no chance, no, sirree, that's it, I can't do it, that's it. Oh, please don't make me marry you. I know this wedding is costing your parents a lot of money, but I can pay back every penny of it. Look, I got about $20 on me. Here, take it as a deposit. And take my watch. And I want you to keep the ring. Now, I know when a fellow breaks up with a girl, he's supposed to get the ring back, but you can keep the ring. That's fair, isn't it? I mean, another guy wouldn't do that, would he, Susan? Please stop looking at me like that. It's nothing against you. You shouldn't take it personally. It's the times we live in. India's overpopulated. We'll all be sterilized soon. The suicide rate is up. The air is polluted. Is that the kind of world you want to get married in? Is it, Susan? Is it? Oh, I see what you're trying to do. Make me look like the bad one. Well, it won't work. It won't work because I'm clean. I'm clean. You knew what you were doing. You knew I was a confirmed bachelor. You knew I had trouble getting involved. But that didn't stop you. No, not you, baby. You decided you were going to marry me, and that's it. Well, who do you think you are playing God with another person's life? Well, I have no pity for you. None whatsoever, because you're getting exactly what you deserve. So get off my back. I owe you nothing, baby. Get it? I owe you nothing. Give me a break. Take the pressure off me. Call the wedding off. Everything was going along fine. We were having fun, and we were smelling flowers, and we could go on having fun for years. And then maybe someday I'll have a lot of drinks, and we'll sneak down to City Hall. That way I won't feel like I'm married. What do you say, Susan? Huh, Susan? What do you say? All right, Susan. I've got to put my cards on the table. I didn't want to have to tell you this because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. But you're just not dream girl. I'm sorry, I wish that you were, but let's face it, my heart doesn't beat when you come into the room. I don't get goose pimples when I touch you. I'm just not nervous around you. You're too vulnerable, you're too human. You got too many problems. And Susan, there's something else about you that really bothers me. Now, maybe it wouldn't be important to another guy, but I think about it a lot. Susan, you have very thin arms, so I don't think I could be faithful. I mean, I want to be faithful, but I just don't think I can. I mean, ever since we got engaged, I walk down the street and I want to grab every ass I see, and that's not normal. Because if you were my dream girl, I wouldn't give another woman a second thought. Don't you understand? find somebody more perfect. That way it wouldn't be so hard for me to love and be faithful. I could just show up. Look, after a while you'll get over me, and soon you'll find another boy. Just promise me you won't sleep with anyone until after we're married. Will you promise me that, Susan? Will you? Well, that's it. It's over. I'm sorry, that's it.
Did you and your father pick out the tuxedos today?
Yeah.
Did you get the cufflinks for the ushers?
Yeah.
Wait till you see the beautiful salad bowl we got from Tom and Eddie from Tiffany.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, by the way, my mother called and said we forgot to seat my Uncle John from Boston.
I think we can put him at table number 3.
Oh, did your wedding gown come?
Oh yes, wait till you see it.
Oh, I bet it's pretty.
Yes. Yes.
Nah, I don't need any more soup.
It's good soup?
All right, let me have some more soup.
You sure you don't want any more soup, Richie?
No, thanks.
You sure?
Yes.
Do you want some more Bill, Richie?
No, Ma, I'm full.
Do you want some more Bill, Frank?
Maybe later.
The butcher gave you good Bill, Frank.
Yeah, he's a good butcher.
It's not veiny.
I hate veiny veal.
So do I, Frank. Frank?
So, Richie, what's the story here? There's no story. Where are your parents? You should tell us the story.
Tell us a story, Richie.
There's nothing to tell. We're breaking up, that's all.
If you're breaking up, there has to be a story.
How can you break up? You're a married couple.
You had a fight, is that it?
No, that's not it.
How can you break up if you didn't have a fight?
Then get a divorce, Frank. Do something.
Shut up, Beatrice.
I'm sorry, Richie.
Joan and I are just not compatible.
Did you hear that, Beatrice? They're not compatible.
I heard it, but I'm not listening.
They're married for 6 years and all of a sudden they're looking to be compatible.
It's a phase they're going through, Frank.
Stupid kids today. They don't know what to do with themselves, so they get a divorce for kicks.
That's what it is, Frank. Kicks.
Look, it's the 1980s. It happens to a lot of couples. There's nothing you can do about it.
It's never happened in our family.
We don't believe in
It
it.
happens to people who don't give a
You
damn.
think the King and Queen of England would get a divorce?
Of course not.
They don't believe in
why they're together all these years.
They know what would happen to England if they broke up.
But our son believes in it?
He wouldn't care what happened to England. He wouldn't care what happened to anyone. It's in 1980, so he's getting a divorce. He was such a handsome groom. Everyone said it was a match made in heaven. His grandmother was so happy she lived to see him married. Jackie next door has 3 kids and he never even went to college.
So what's the story,
My
Richie?
sister Pauline's going to be so upset. How could you get a divorce?
Shut up, Beatrice!
I'm sorry, Richie.
Look, this is not a spur-of-the-moment decision. Joan and I talked it out, and believe me, it's better this way.
Better?
Better?
For who? For your mother?
For your father?
I'll tell you who it's better for. For you.
I'll wish you.
What do you know what's better for
You
you?
don't know what's better.
Did you listen to me when I told you not to marry her in the first place?
Listen to your father.
Don't you understand? Joan and I are just not happy together.
Did you hear that, Beatrice? They're not happy.
I heard, Frank.
Who's happy?
Who's happy?
Do you see me running around dancing in the streets? Or your brother?
Or your Uncle Mike?
Or your cousin Jerry?
Or your cousin Nicky?
You think your sister's happy with that bum she's married to, huh?
Or Jackie next door? I say when you make your bed, you suffer in it.
Do you think your mother and I are happy?
Huh?
Huh?
You mean you and Dad aren't happy?
No.
Then why do you stay together?
We're content.
We're content.
These kids today, all they're looking for is happiness.
Don't look for happiness, Richie. It'll only make you miserable.
Well, if I'm going to be unhappy, I don't want to be married.
What, you think only married people are unhappy? Or what about Eddie Shree?
Or Tommy
Or
Pizzle.
your Aunt Pauline?
Or Father Burke.
You want to end up like them?
Unhappy?
Unhappy! Why do you think we keep our marriages together, huh? For happiness? Don't be stupid. For the family.
For the kids.
We don't have any kids.
I told you not to have any kids. I told him not to have
You
any
didn't
kids.
tell him not to have kids, Frank.
If you had listened to me, you would have had a lot of kids right away.
Then you wouldn't be able to get a divorce.
You'd have the kids to think about.
Children are a blessing in disguise.
Well, we don't have the kids to think about, so we're lucky.
Lucky? Well, what about your nephew, Mark? You and Joan are his godparents.
You have a responsibility.
Who's going to take care of him if, God forbid, we all die in a fire?
We can get killed crossing the street by a truck.
Or die of a heart attack in the living room?
Or get electrocuted in the bathtub. Huh?
Dying is no picnic.
Look, if you two aren't going to talk intelligently, I'm not going to discuss it with you.
Frank, do something.
Wait! Don't tell me you're not going to discuss this with us. I'll take out my strap and give you a good beating. I don't care how old you are.
Don't you touch him, Frank. That's all you know is the strap. Where were you when he was young and really needed you to give him a good beating? It's all your fault.
Don't give me that. It's your fault. You spoiled it. Every morning you made him bacon, eggs, toasted milk. And me, I was lucky to get a cruller. It's your fault.
Oh, no, Frank, it's your fault.
Will you stop it? It's nobody's fault.
Don't give me that. It has to be somebody's fault. I want to know whose fault. I want to know whose fault it is. Who the hell can that be?
It's Joan.
Joan? What is Joan doing here?
I asked her to come over.
What did you do that for? You're only going to make things worse.
Worse.
What?
I want to hear Joan's story.
It's not nice to play favorites.
There's more here than meets the eye, huh?
Believe me, Frank.
You shouldn't have done it.
Richie, I asked Joan to come over here because in a time of stress, a family has to come together and open their hearts and try to understand whatever it is that's making people act crazy. That's all I ever wanted for any of my children. I did the best I could to raise you to be a good boy. And now this. Oh, God, why did this happen? I always did my best. Well, all right. Sometimes I was a bad
For Christ's sake, Beatrice, will you open the door?
Don't you think so, Frank?
Hmm?
It's a pale peach, Frank. Do you want something to eat, Joan?
No, I ate already.
How about a glass of milk and some crumb cake?
No, thank you.
You got crumb cake?
Yeah, from Cake Masters.
Save me a piece for later.
You sure you don't want any crumb cake, Joan?
No, thank you.
How about you, Richie?
I don't want any.
Frank?
Oh, Joan. So I understand from Richie that you two have been having some compatible difficulties. Listen, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Even me and I have had our little differences. We're married, what, 1930? Don't know.
33 years, Frank.
33 years, and anyone that looks at us will tell you that we're the perfect couple. But just between you and me, it's only natural that once in a while you can't help but hate each other's guts. Am I right, B? That's what marriage is. I mean, it's like I always say, where there's a will, there's a way. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it takes two to tango. Am I right, Joan? I was always telling Richie, out of all my daughters-in-law, you've always been my favorite. You're not a loudmouth like William's wife, or a flashy dresser like Robert's wife. You're a nice, quaint girl with a good head on your shoulders, and you know how to save money when you shop. Am I right, Richie? So, what I mean to say is, so what's the story, Joan?
Well, it's a combination of a lot of things, like my birthday, for instance.
Do we have to go through that again?
Richie, let me tell it my way.
Oh, children, be nice. Life is too short for fights, especially in times of stress.
Well, I asked Richie to get me a book for my birthday.
What kind of book?
Well, it was a book about Spain, you know, with colored photographs. I've always had this big thing about Spain because I love Spanish music and Spanish people.
Oh, I love Spanish music too, especially the tango. Even on our honeymoon in Atlantic City, they had this band on the boardwalk. Remember, Frank? And he wouldn't do the tango. He said if I wanted to tango, I should have married Rudolph Valentino.
100 people standing around, and she wants me to get up and do a tango. They would have thought I was a fairy or something. Am I right, Richie? Go on, Joan.
Rudolph Valentino was no fairy, Frank.
Go on, Joan.
Well, I was just telling you, I saw this book about Spain. And a book to me means love, because when you give a book about a romantic place, you give something with pages in it. And each page could be a day in your life. And the cover to me is like happiness. It's like saying all the days in your life should be as happy and romantic as Spain and surrounded by a cover of happiness. So I mentioned to Richie that I wanted the book.
She didn't mention it. That's all she talked about day and night for a month.
I was simply reminding him because he always forgot my birthday.
Maybe I didn't get it for her because I don't like being told what to get someone. Maybe I wanted to get her something better than a book. For instance, I saw this little stuffed spotted rabbit in the window. It had a real monkey fur, and it was like a music box. You wind it up, and it plays Happy Birthday as it hops across the floor.
All he ever got me for my birthday were stuffed
You
animals.
used to love stuffed animals. You were always asking me to get you a lion or a duck.
But this time I wanted a book.
So what did you get her?
What?
For her birthday?
It was nothing. Forgot what day it was.
You always forget. Anything that's important to me, you forget.
Frank
You
did
made
the
such
same
a big
woman,
thing
remember?
out of it. I
And
wanted
said
it.
Mama Frank
I
for
just
panel
didn't see the
today.
logic
Don't you
in
know
it.
we come
Well,
home
I got
without
it.
it? I said, don't forget
I
to
got it.
put
Sure.
your panel
Sure,
today.
after I went over to my mother's
And he
house,
walks
I
in,
all
and I
that
said,
coins
where's
in
the
the
panel? And he says, what?
throws it at me and says, here.
I didn't throw it at you. I handed it to you and said happy birthday. Then she takes the book, rips out the pages, and flushes them down the toilet.
I've been ripping you.
She flushed the book down the toilet?
Look,
What did you flush the
did I
book
go
down the
into
toilet
the story?
for?
I don't know,
There's
Frank,
no
I just
sense
got
in
tired.
discussing.
Joan, you ripped
So
the
let's
book?
just forget the whole
What?
thing.
Don't forget the whole thing.
Okay,
I
let's
won't
just
do it,
forget
Frank.
discuss all the implications of everything I have to say.
Frank, they're getting on the board. Do something.
For Christ's sake, what am I trying to do here? Now listen to me, Joan. Maybe you don't think so, but I've been through these things, and speaking from my own experience, when there's difficulties in a marriage, it's usually caused by one of the people involved causing friction. You know what I mean, Joan? I mean, one of the people is causing it, and the other person is you know what I mean, Richie. I mean, when there's difficulties in a marriage, you have two people, and they you know what I mean, B. I mean, what do I mean? Beatrice, take Joan in the other room, and I'll talk to Richie alone.
Come, Joan. Do you want your sweater, Frank? It's getting a little chilly.
All right, let me have a sweater.
Do you want your pullover or your cardigan, Frank?
My pullover. No, my cardigan.
Oh, your cardigan's in the cleaners, Frank.
I'll have my pullover then.
It's very heavy, Frank.
Never mind. So what happened, huh? You had a little something going on the side and Joan found out about it?
That's not the reason.
Come on, you can tell me. I never told you this before, but you're grown up now. I strayed too once when I was young. Don't get me wrong, I didn't go looking for it, but sometimes you're walking along and it falls in your lap. Well,
You don't have to tell me this.
oh, look, it happens to everybody. I love your mother, but sometimes you need a little more stimulation. You know what I mean? All right, thank God your mother never felt that way. But, well, there was this time when your mother found out. Stupid Sister Pauline ran over there and opened a big mouth. She walked out on me for 4 days. She came back. I mean, where's she gonna go, right? Oh, all right, she was mad, and she was hurt, and I never heard the end of it. Stupid Pauline, I could have broken her head. Just before that happened, I slipped on a porch, hurt my back. I was out of work for 2 weeks, so what, I had to pay the doctor, the x-rays, a week in the hospital. Cost me $250, what, 85, 25, about $310. I had an open and shut negligence case, but she got mad because they raised her insurance a lousy $7 a year. So to get even with me, she runs over there and tells your mother about this time she saw me at Big Joe's with this female companion. Stupid Pauline. Anyways, your mother and I had some difficulties there for a while. And it was like I was telling John, when there's problems in a marriage, it's usually caused by one of the people involved causing friction. In our case, it was Pauline, that stupid jerk. Anyways, your mother got over it. Just like Joan, she'll get over it. Women, they know how to take these things.
I told you that's not the reason.
You mean in 6 years you never fooled around once?
Yeah, a few times, but it was just physical.
Then why do you want a divorce?
I don't know. I was too young when I got married. I didn't know who I was or what I wanted.
Who you are, what you want. Where did you get these thoughts? I sent you to college to get an education, not these thoughts. You know what you need? You need a psychiatrist.
I've been thinking about going to one.
What? Are you crazy? There's nothing wrong with you.
Look, Dad, I may not know what I want, but I do know what I don't want.
And why don't you want Joan?
When Joan and I first got married, we had the perfect relationship. She worked days and I worked nights. And then the more we saw of each other, the more I realized we were strangers.
We're all strangers. But after a while you become deeper strangers. You get used to it. That's what love is. That's a kind of love there. Huh?
No, that's habit. And I want more than that.
More. Everyone wants more.
Then why don't they go get it?
Because there is no more.
There's got to be more.
More.
What's the sense of talking? We don't seem to be getting anywhere.
You think I don't understand, don't you? I understand. But there were times with your mother when I thought that maybe I didn't do justice to myself. You know what I mean? I love your mother, but I never used to think that she was as intelligent as I was, and that used to bother me a lot. Everyone wants to be married to someone on his own level. A couple of years before I met your mother, I met this school teacher. Her name was Mary Rose. Real society girl. She was Bulgarian. We had everything in common. I mean, the same interests, the same mentality. And I used to think maybe if I had married Mary Rose, that I wouldn't have yelled and screamed so much around the house. That if I had married her, I would have been a different person. But she wouldn't go out with me. So I married your mother instead. I'm going back, 31, 36, about 32 years ago. That's a long time ago. The best thing about the past is you forget what it was that might have made you happy. For the past 15, 20 years, your mother have been, well, we've been content, like I said. You're forced to find things in common. For instance, I have found that your mother and I are very interested in various types of food. A good pot roast, leg of lamb smothered in onions, roast beef. And there's always something to talk about. Who's getting married? Who died? Who just had a baby? How much should we give? Marriage is a wonderful thing if you can just enjoy your wife for whatever she is.
And Joan, darling, of all the pictures in your wedding album, my favorite is this one. The whole family together. Everyone happy and smiling. You and Richie, me and Frank. Your mother and your father, and Richie's cousins, Freddie and Rita, cheek to cheek. David and Loretta kissing, Carmel and Vinny hugging, Freddie and Rita cheek to cheek. Did you know that Freddie has not said one word to Rita for 2 years? But they're still together. David and Loretta kissing? Well, you know what people in the family say about David. That he's a little funny, you know what I mean. Peculiar. But I don't think he really is. It's just his way to lock himself in his room all day Sunday and play with his cars. Look, it takes all kinds to make a world go round. But who's to say the man is a degenerate? Or worse. But they're still together. Carmel and Vinny hugging. When Carmel and Vinny first got married, they lived with Vinny's parents because he was out of work a lot. And Vinny's mother kept picking on Carmel. She kept blaming Carmel for Vinny's laziness. Well, one day Carmel said, if your mother makes one more remark to me, I'm going to smack her in the face. And Vinny started yelling, don't you dare lay a hand on my mother. And Carmel said, I'll go to hell for both of you. And she ran down the street, and Vinny chased her down the block and dragged her back by her hair. Carmel spit right in Vinny's face, and Vinny started choking Carmel over the open window, and the super had to come pull Vinny off Carmel. And they're still together.
Mother, maybe they're right to stay together. I don't know. All I know is that my problem with Richie is much more basic.
More basic than Carmel and Vinny?
I'm sorry, Mom. I don't want to hurt you. You've always been closer to me than my own mother.
Oh, and I love you like my own flesh and blood. That's why we can talk. What, Joan, tell me?
Well,
Yes.
Mother, ever since I was 15, I've loved Richie from afar.
Uh-huh.
And when we went together, we were just so cute. We were always on the beach, and we just had so much fun together.
Uh-huh.
We were always kissing and hugging, and everyone said how great we looked on the
dance floor. So I really thought that we'd get happily married and live happily ever after. I guess we just weren't that lucky. Well, I mean, I knew it was the real thing because I loved everything about Richie. I loved the way he moved. Sometimes I'd just spend hours and watch him move around.
Uh-huh.
And his hair. You're gonna think this is silly, but I used to love the way his hair smelled. Like raisins. And the best part of being in his arms, I never told him this, but it was to get a good whiff of his hair. Oh, and his arms were so big and smooth. Well, right here, you know, this part, I used to love to feel the way they went around me. I don't know if it's me or Richie that's changed, but it's just no big deal to feel or smell him anymore.
Joan, darling, you don't even know what basic is. I'm going to tell you something that's so basic you won't even believe it. I never told this to anyone, Joan. It's very private. Promise you won't discuss it with anyone, okay? Okay. You promise?
I promise.
Well, here it is. You see, Joan, I've had a very hard life. When I met Frank, he was very handsome and so clean. So clean. Did you see the Seventh Heaven on the Late Show the other night? Well, Frank was clean like Charlie Farrell was in the Seventh Heaven when he met Janet Gaynor, who was very innocent like I was. So it was a big shock to me on my wedding night when I found out what a physical person he is. You know what I'm talking about, Joan?
Sex?
You said it, not me. Look, it's very hard for me to talk about these things. That's why I wasn't ready to get raped on my wedding night. Oh, God, if I live to be 1,000, I'll never forget my rape. With you-know-who. I was very nauseous, but I didn't say a word. I just ran into the bathroom and locked the door because I don't like to make a scene.
You mean you never enjoyed it?
What's to enjoy? Sex is not physical. It's spiritual. Like the great love Ingrid Bergman had for Bing Crosby and the bells of St. Mary's when he was a priest and she was a nun and they loved each other from afar. But Frank didn't want to know from that. You see, it's very hard for a man to understand how a woman feels inside. Although I tried to understand Frank. Not that there was much there to understand, but no matter how I felt about all that business, Frank was my husband and my body was a sacred erotic rite. That's why I couldn't understand it when Frank strayed. That's right, Frank. Look, it's a sin, but it happens. I left him for a few days, but I came back. Where was I gonna go? And you know me, I always try to look for the bright side. I say, at least she's the one who'll be nauseous now. I was very hurt, Joan. Very. But I stuck it out. And so did Frank, because we believe in the highest form of love. Obligations. And as impossible as it seems to be at the time, somehow Frank and I still together built up a life together. Me and Frank together.
I don't know what to say except I love you and I hope you'll forgive me.
You mean after all I said, you're still gonna leave Richie?
I'm sorry. Mom, I'm sorry. I have to go now.
Frank, Jonah's leaving. Do something.
She's leaving? Did you straighten it out? How could she leave if you didn't straighten it out?
It's very late.
Do something.
Why is she leaving? Did you upset her? I'm sorry to be upset you, Joan.
I didn't upset you, did I, Joan?
Come on, let's go.
But where are you going?
Home.
I'm not through talking to him. Where's he going? Huh?
Leave them alone. They're going together.
Is that true? What, you're going together? Oh, that's good. You're going together there.
Good night, Father.
Joan, you let Richie bring you some flowers and take you to a show.
Buy her a new book. So, what was Joan's story?
She said she loves me even more than she loves her own mother. And she doesn't want to hurt me because I've always been good to her and honest with her, and she can talk to me.
Did she, have anything to say about me?
She was shocked that you strayed, Frank.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Beatrice, what did you have to tell her that
It
for?
came out in passing.
Why the hell does she have to know our business?
I was making a point about friction, Frank.
All right.
To err is human. To forgive is divine.
All right.
What are we gonna do, Frank?
What can you do?
You live and learn.
You have to take the good with the bad.
What can you do?
You live and you learn.
What will people say?
People don't have to know.
You raise a boy, you teach him values.
That stupid Colleen.
You teach him a family.
To take the good with the bad.
Life is for the living.
I could have broken her head.
I can understand her wanting to leave,
That's how life is.
but I can't understand her leaving.
You live and you learn.
You have to take the good with the bad.
I think I'll have my crumb cake.
Okay, move. Next one should be on by now. Bring up the Jones special. Is it up? Come on, move. Okay, stop it. Cue it up for curtain call. We're gonna run curtain call again. Bring up the lights for B and what's his name? We need to move a little faster on curtain call, everyone. They should overlap a little bit more. Make sure you have all lights up for curtain call, everything.
Okay, when do you want me to start this one again?
You have to give them enough time. That's what we're trying to time out right now.
Okay.
I want you to start the music a little bit before we start the lights.
Okay.
Okay? Is there any way that we can move those chairs faster?
We'll try. Like one of those screws.
How about I can pick up? What?
Does anyone ever sit in that chair on the end?
This one here? No.
Yeah.
Never.
You think it'd look funny to have only 3 chairs there? You don't? nobody uses that space. Okay, well, let's try it again. Let's try to get the chairs moved. Can you guys move them faster?
We'll try.
Or did you feel like you moved them as fast as you could that time?
Well, the problem is the dark, and I don't think the chairs are the problem. It's like the table was the bigger problem. Then I was supposed to start yanking on that. I was afraid I was going to lose dishes and bowls. Legs, too. For some reason, all these legs have been coming unbolted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got a screw on the floor right here now. We've been losing a leg for the past 2 nights. Not from use. It's, for some reason, they're coming
Yeah, we have the wrong side screw in it.
Like this leg here is just weird.
This looks like a screw out of a. This is a screw out of one of my pin connectors, isn't it? Somebody take a screw out of a pin connector for the table?
No, that was the screw on.
Oh. Yeah, we need a bigger screw on it. Let me go get one real quick. Are these, do we have our screws in the entire table?
No.
Just this one screw came out of our screw box?
No, there's a couple.
Well, they're not the right size, is the problem. You don't take the legs off to move it, do you?
No. Like, I've got a loose screw here. It's like,
On my back.
but we're talking theoretically speaking. No.
That level was too low on the curtain call.
Sound level?
Yeah.
Right.
Turn it up a little bit, if you want to.
Well, see, it's like this is, it's loose. But,
Yeah, that's wrong. That's the wrong size screw. Jason, find a Phillips, please. Got a Phillips?
possible to keep them alive and Wyoming, so you might
And
maybe
will it make it for a week?
maybe. You should have somebody come in and mist them every day. Spray them, spray the leaves with water.
Well, that should be misty, right?
I know.
Now, most people in Wyoming hang them in their bathroom.
Yeah, hang them in the kitchen, back in the bathroom, wash them.
You know what, Tony? I heard about them. My roommate said you better watch those friends that take them off stage. You hear about it? That's what she said. She said a whole bunch of people are sitting there at lunch talking about them.
Lock them in your office, Billy.
Yeah.
But they really do need to be misted.
Done? Is it done yet?
Good to be a king.
Okay, let's take it from the end of the scene. Everybody stand by. Curtain call. Ready? Go.
I think I'll have my cake now. Is that what you're doing?
Let's take it 3 speeches from the end.
Sorry. Okay, over.
I can understand her wanting to leave,
That's how life is.
but I can't understand her leaving.
You live and you learn.
You have to take the good with the bad.
I think I'll have my crumb cake now.
No music. Lights. Rheostat up. First one off stage, bring the rheostat up.
Oh my God.
The music does not fade, it runs the whole time.
Just want to push back, keep running.
Yeah, you may drop the level a little bit once they're off stage, but not much.
Don't we turn back on the play out?
We didn't put it.
Not right now. What happened to the rheostat? Okay. Let's try the whole thing one more time again. Oh, this thing's running.